String theory is the leading theory of everything, what they call the theory of everything that Einstein was pursuing before he died. Now, it's just a theory at this point in time, but it's a very elegant theory. And string theory posits that at the most fundamental level of matter, beyond the subatomic, the fabric of reality, at its most basic state, is composed of vibrating filaments, vibrating strings. And that these strings can vibrate in different ways, and depending on how they vibrate, that manifests into the material world, it manifests into the chemistry and the physics that we're all familiar with. It's a very elegant theory, and it happens that string theory really only works in 10 dimensions, or superstring theory in 11 plus dimensions. And in fact, it also happens that the theory of relativity, Einstein's theory of relativity, fits extremely well within the theoretical construct of string theory. So it's a very elegant theory. And again, the leading theory of everything. I really like string theory, and the reason why I like string theory, I love the idea that at the most fundamental level of reality, what you have is essentially a voice. You have vibration. And I believe that the universe was spoken into existence, or perhaps sung into existence. And I've always thought that. That's always struck me as a profound idea. And I can't claim that it was my idea. It occurred to me when I was a child reading the Chronicles of Narnia. And when you read The Magician's Nephew, there's a scene in The Magician's Nephew in which Aslan is creating Narnia. Aslan the lion, who is a symbolic of the Son of God. And he's singing Narnia into existence and roaring Narnia into existence. And that always was very profound to me, even as a child. It resonated with me. And so later on in life, when I became aware of string theory and read the work of different physicists, especially Michio Kaku, who was one of the leading figures in string theory, it resonates with me, but it also resonates, I think, with the biblical narrative. Because we know that the Son of God, who I call the singularity, the source of creation, we know that John refers to him as the Word of God, that in the beginning was the Word. So, consonant with string theory, in the very beginning, what started everything was a voice, was a word, or perhaps, as I said, a song. And it set these filaments into vibration. Very much like string theory is often compared to the strings on a guitar or the strings on a violin. Very much in that way, you can make those strings vibrate in different ways, and it produces different songs. In the same way, these filaments, these strings in string theory, depending on how they vibrate, different things happen in physics and chemistry and the subatomic level. And so it's just an extremely elegant synthesis between this leading theory of everything and the biblical narrative regarding the Son of God, that he was in the beginning, he's the Word of God, and everything was created by him and through him and for him. And I would go further and I would say that everything was created through his voice. He spoke it or sung it into existence.
That's right. Now, string theory dramatically changes our understanding of space and time. Physics.
This is a phrase people have begun to hear, string theory.
For example, it turns out that string theory requires our universe to have 10 or possibly even 11 dimensions.